This is the Darth Retcon channel. He's Pree, I'm P, and today we're going to be doing this a little something different today. We're going to be doing a preview of the final season of Vikings.
Let's get it.
Vikings is a show it's really near and dear to me. I've been with the show since the opening scene, first season, Ragnar, Rollo battling out there in the open field.
Yeah.
And so when me and Pree put this channel together, first thing, if you go look at the channel, we talked about Mando. And so I really was telling Pree, we got to do Vikings. And Pree had told me, you're like, hey, I never seen it before, but we had enough time. I was like, he had time on his hands, and he was able to binge it all in a few days. So Pree, what are your thoughts about the show Vikings as overall, as being new viewer?
Okay. I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest about this. Like, going into it, like, I was real skeptical because, like, I'm more of like a fantasy guy. Like, I like to see a little bit of magic up in there, some shit like that. So I was like, man, if it's just gonna be sword fighting all day, I might get bored with it. But when I talk about a character making a show, Ragnar Lothbrok is one of the greatest characters in like TV film history. Not because of he got superpowers, not because of this. It's because he's a simple man with contradicting ideas to the society that he lives in, and this ultimately like sparks like the great Viking age. So it was just real cool to see that pop off and how that popped off, even though it's like not verbatim the truth, but just to have like a little history and lesson, and it actually turned out to be pretty good. I was actually pretty excited about it.
They say Ragnar's got swag. They got swag.
Man, come on, man. He'd have passed it down to a couple of them, but like a couple sons didn't get it.
Well, okay, that's a good transition. So I guess we can include everybody from the series, or we'll just
to this point.
Yeah, or maybe to simplify it, why don't you give me a couple of your favorite characters, and then who is your favorite of the sons of Ragnar?
Okay, now that's a good way to put it, because I do have some favorite characters that aren't Vikings. Like one of my dudes that came in. At first, I didn't like him. Like I think it was like the bishop.
Hethman?
Bishop Hethman. Yeah, like at first I just thought he was like a fanatic, just crazy. But like what this show really like teaches you, like with Athelstan and like with Hethman and like just even Rollo to a certain point, like there is no real alliances with countries. Like it just shows like power corrupts all and absolutely. Like and not even like with Athelstan and the other guys so much, but in certain instances so, because like the way he wanted his bishop job back, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and it really just expanded on how humans exploit stuff for power more than like actually caring about other people. So
well, and I also think those characters that you named, they were at a lot of what made them great was they're really relatable because they were very conflicted about things. They had what they were supposed to be, but like you said, they were. If there was a conflict in that, it's not
just what you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, so I would say, that's the one thing that makes those characters that you named pretty great.
And
so
those would be the two that I would pick: Athelstan and the bishop. Like my two favorite non-Viking characters. Okay. And then obviously I'm gonna have to go with my boy Ragnar as my favorite character, but my favorite son. And hey, a lot of people are gonna crucify me for this because this dude can be a little prickish, a little bit over the top. And if you guys don't understand, y'all can't kill him. And that's gonna be my man, Ivar the Boneless.
Bist du nicht geflogen? Ich bin nicht getrieben, nein! Bist du nicht geflogen? Ich bin einfach der Boneless!
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, the thing with Ivar is for, you know, a lot of people, like I said, I think because a lot of people they're mad about his ruthlessness and this and that, and I always say, I mean, a lot of the sons, they all have traits from Ragnar. And a lot of people look at Ragnar with rose-tinted glasses. They forget that he did some ruthless things, like he strangled the slave girl and drowned her in the river when she was going to reveal about what happened to the people on the settlement, how he lied. He killed the guy that came back
and told about the settlement.
Yeah, and had Floki had to keep his mouth shut about it. You know, so
cheating on his wife.
Yeah, and so, you know, and I think that's one of the things that people tend to forget. Like, where do you think Ivar gets that ruthlessness from? And the last parting words he told Ivar was to be ruthless.
Thank you.
But at the same time, Ivar was raised by his surrogate father, Floki. So if we know how Floki is,
oh God,
yeah, there you go. You know, there's Ivar the Boneless.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say that I truly like about Ivar that kind of separates him from the other brothers, the fact that, you know, him being crippled, is a lot of the other sons, it's all about, oh, my father wanted legacy, this. Where Ivar's like, I want to do I understand I'm a son of Ragnar Lothbrok, but I want to do my own thing. I want to make my own mark out here.
Hey, what did they ask him? He said, you want to be better than father?
Said, I want to be greater.
Much better.
And so, yeah, so I feel you have to respect that. Like, and I think Ragnar will respect that.
I think so, too.
Deep down, he felt a certain way about that, because if you remember when he asked the seer, you know, will they be more famous than me? And he so, like,
two of them.
He felt, you know, he felt a way about it, like, but at the same time, he will respect that.
Though, man.
Yeah, he will respect that, you know, Ivar is willing to do that.
Right.
You know, and so that's cool. That's cool. All right. Well,
all right, we're gonna go ahead and transition now.
All right. Okay, so now we're gonna be talking about as far as plot lines and people's stories. Like, what are you looking for? What are your predictions for some of your characters that you're really looking forward to seeing, and what do you think is going to happen to them at the conclusion of this season?
All right, so I'll just go ahead and start out by saying there's 3 characters that I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen to them. That's Ivar, Uba, and Bjorn, right?
Okay.
No, hold on, not Bjorn. Ironside. There we go.
Well, he is Bjorn Ironside. So.
No, I'm messing with y'all. All right, so first off, let me just go ahead and go in kind of order that I think they might be killed, because I think there's gonna be some type of. I mean, this is just my speculations. Like, I do want to see Bjorn become, and this is kind of a prediction, and in all of itself, but I want to see Bjorn become the first king of the first real king of Norway, since we had that bullshit that happened with King Harold the last season. But I do think Bjorn's gonna become like the first true recognized king of Norway.
Maybe they may do that for the show, but just in history, Harold was the first king of, like, in real, like in the histories he was. But in the show, they could always do, you know, submit him as the.
And, like, I mean, it's like one of those things, and like, somebody can have the title first, but nobody really respects that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so,
like, it's a hollow crown.
Thank you. Like, so that's kind of like basically what I'm saying. So I know, like, he has that title because you can't take it away. Yeah. You know, they had the festival, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about the first real, like, that were people because I don't think Harold could have united the kingdoms. like Bjorn could have. Like
I mean, because Bjorn in the real life, I believe he became the king of Sweden, so he did become a king. So maybe
there's a little something in there,
but he didn't look so good in that trailer.
No, I know, but hey, but then okay, he didn't look so good in that trailer, but I started to think that like just watching the episode, I was like, it was just too much like flashing here and there. So I'm thinking that either they're like doing some Jedi mind meld type of shit, or they're just like basically like having like dreams about each other, like how it could end. Because like I told you, I think last time, P, like Bjorn's a slasher, like he's a berserker basically when it comes to that. It's gonna be hard for somebody to move slow to even get close to him. So I don't really see Ivar just coming up and just stabbing him like that. Like, I don't know if that was real. Like, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it could have been real.
I'm going to have to go with it. I think it was real because, like you said, in the trailer, you see Gunhill putting the armor on him. He's laid up in bed. He's just looking at a worse for wear. He's on that horse. Like, I mean, I think the stabbing happened.
Okay.
But I think what you're talking about I think all what we saw was inside Bjorn's head, like when he was having those. It was just like what was going on in his mind. That's what that was.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he really stabbed him. I think he did. I think he stabbed him, and I mean, I think he thought he killed him, and he was surprised, like, oh shit, he's still alive.
Okay, well, that's my first little go. So let's go ahead and ask you about the. All right, so basically, my first little prediction and like storyline plot will be Bjorn becoming the first true recognized king of Norway, and that's my little prediction right there. So let's go ahead and shoot it back over to you, P, and who's one of the characters you looking forward to, or shoot your three out there. And then tell us why you looking forward to seeing them and a prediction that goes along with them.
I'm looking forward to Vitzer. Vitzer is my favorite character. He's not necessarily my favorite character, but he's my favorite of the Sons of Ragnar. I'm also interested in Floki, since Floki is he's one of our original OGs.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily, like I said, he's not my favorite character, but he's one of the OGs, and I'm wondering, like, we have to know what happened to this guy. He's very integral to the Vikings universe. And then I would say King Harold, because King Harold, another famous Viking character is his descendant. Harold Hardrada is a descendant of him, so somehow he lives, and I'm assuming he's probably going to marry Bjorn's second wife, because remember he did. I'm not going to say the word because YouTube, but it rhymes. It rhymes with cape, and but so like.
Yeah.
Maybe that's who he, settles down with. I don't know. But yeah, for me, it's Vitzer, Floki, and King Harold. And like, I will start with Vitzer, where I've said this many times that the character was criminally underused. They could have used him, especially with the exit of Sigurd, because there was a lot of sons, and they got rid of Sigurd. So I'm really interested to see what happens, because, and I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, the final battle between, because in history it's Alfred versus Uba and Halfdan, which I believe that Vitzer is a fill-in for the character Halfdan, and in the history Halfdan ends up getting baptized and becoming a part of the Kingdom of England. So we know that Vitzer
is confused.
He jumps sides. So
he's confused.
So this could possibly happen.
That's true.
Is he going to kill Ivar? He thinks that's his destiny to kill Ivar. Once again, I'm not too sure about that, because, like I said, in history, Ivar actually doesn't even battle Alfred. I believe he ends up in Ireland, and it's Uba and Halfdan that face against Alfred, and Uba is killed. So maybe Ivar fills the role of Uba, and he is the one who falls at the battle.
The hands of Alfred.
So
yeah, that's
because they use other characters for other people a lot in the show. They kind of play it fast and loose with history, but like I said, Vitzer's been my guy. I hope that these last 10 episodes he gets a well-deserved good conclusion to his character, because like I said, he could have been used a lot more. Like I said about Floki is an OG. I want to know.
Second that.
Yeah, I want to know his reaction and how he dealt with when he went inside that cave and he saw that Christian cross.
Like they've been doing this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that just had to shatter his everything about him.
This is supposed to be his God's land, but it's the cross that represents. That was
so. And then what's his role going to be, and what happened to him? Like.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure he's alive, but there's just like a lot of mystery of like I said, you got the Traveler, and then you got Flatnose that was at the settlement with Floki when everything went terrible.
So he didn't see it all.
Yeah, so like he has to know something, and Bjorn even told him, "Hey, Uba will find out."
Uba gonna find out.
Yeah, he's gonna find out what it is. And like I said, I'm interested for King Harold, because King Harold. At first, I didn't like him, but he's
a Viking, man. Well, that's why they do it.
King Harold grew on me, so
me too.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, and those are just as far as some of my predictions and what I think. Like I said, okay, I'll make a quick. I really didn't make any predictions, kind of rambling on here, but I think that Vitzerk is going to have the Halfdan storyline. I think he's going to cross over, help Alfred. And he's going to end up being a lord in England and having his own lands of that sort. I think, which a lot of people in the fandom believe, I think Floki will turn into the new seer. He will be the new seer.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's cool.
I believe that Bjorn is going to fall, and I think that's going to leave King Harold to be able to still be the king. And, I think that's where his story will end. So those are my predictions, and those have been our predictions for the upcoming season. We're only a few days away from the start, and before we go on this, I would like to spend a special salute and a shout out to King McKay. Anybody who's anybody in this YouTube thing about Vikings, King McKay is the king. He is partly responsible why I'm on here with Pree doing these reviews for this show. So I want to salute the King McKay. Thank you very much for what you have done and what you do for the fandom when it comes to Vikings. So Pree, that's all I got. Any closing things from you?
Hey, only closing things I got with the upcoming season is everybody just be ready for a lot of bloodshed, because I only see maybe 3 of our characters that we like coming out of this a lot.
Well, I think you're right, because something I've left off before we finally get off of here is, if you watch the trailer, it says Valhalla awaits. So everybody's like, we're going broke, and they're trying to make their legend because they want to be able to sit at Odin's Great Hall and be next to Ragnar and all the other great Vikings, Lagertha and everybody, and tell their tales and stories. So they're trying to make their legend, and that's the thing about the Viking culture is that
they're Vikings.
You want to have a life worth
to fucking battle and die in battle, right?
Well, yeah, you want a life worth living, and that means they're chasing glory, they're chasing Valhalla. So I don't go that far, because as you see, I got if you can make it out there, the Game of Thrones and chill.
All right, so we go hard for the House of the Dragon, but come on with it. Yeah. Come on with it, though. Yeah. Okay, well, those are our predictions. Some of our thoughts for the new upcoming season of Viking. We gonna be hitting y'all with shit left and right, because 2021 we going hard. We didn't kind of got all the hiccups out the way. We think we got it down. So me and P, we about to just keep hitting y'all with new content, see what's going on. And I'm done with the little something for today.